Now, Sirhan's gun could only shoot 8 shots. Now, I'm not a ballistics expert or a firearms identification expert. I don't know a land from a groove, but I could tell you this, an 8-shot revolver can't fire more than 8 bullets. There was an FBI report that came out associated with their own crime scene investigation a day or so after the shooting at the Ambassador Hotel on June 5th, 1968, almost 50 years ago to the day. And as they were in the report, they had 4 holes which were circled, and these holes were not alleged by the FBI, but claimed by the FBI to have been bullet holes.
Door frame.
Now, Sirhan had an 8-shot, 22 caliber Iver Johnson revolver, and he had hit Kennedy 3 times, and there were 5 other shooting victims in the room. Kenny was the only one who was killed. The kill shot for him was the shot that hit him at contact range behind the right ear. He would have survived the other 2. The Iver Johnson 22 that Sirhan was holding was a pop gun. It was a Saturday night special. It was you had to get really close in order for it to get the wallop that you wanted to. And again, because he got right behind Kennedy's ear, that was the kill shot. The senator lived for another day. He died on June 6th at 1:44 a.m. But back to the bullet holes. The FBI had said these are not alleged bullet holes or reported bullet holes. They said these are bullet holes. That's what they said in their report. Now, when you got Kennedy getting hit 3 times, you got 5 other victims, and they pull one bullet out of each of them. Now, Sirhan's gun could only shoot 8 shots. Now, I'm not a ballistics expert or a firearms identification expert. I don't know a land from a groove, but I could tell you this, an 8-shot revolver can't fire more than 8 bullets. And we've got the FBI identifying 4 bullet holes in Sirhan's line of fire, in the walls and door frames in Sirhan's line of fire. And that was daunting. This isn't some conspiracy kook saying this. This is the Federal Bureau of Investigation saying extra bullets. And so that was daunting. And then there was the situation when Sirhan was convicted in 1969, there was a retesting of his gun 6 years later, in 1975. The court appointed a firearms panel to retest. Now, they were able, in the retesting, they were able to match 3 intact bullets that were pulled out of the victims, 1 from Kennedy and 2 from the other victims, and they were able to match these 3 bullets with each other, but they were not able to match it with Sirhan's gun. So that also caused the problem with the second gun. Also, there was the question of muzzle distance, because the autopsy, which nobody disputes, which was done by Thomas Noguchi, the famous Los Angeles County coroner, he had said, again, contact shots. The problem is that nobody had seen Sirhan's gun get that close. In fact, really, there weren't people who had seen Kennedy actually get shot. And so, because of these and other problems with the official investigation, it looked like there were 2 guns in the room. So yeah, when I first went into this, I thought there were 2 guns. I thought Gene Caesar was the actual killer, and then I went after Gene Caesar, and I found him, spent hundreds of hours probably investigating him and interviewing him, and he kept on contradicting himself, and it was like, in one version he would tell me that he saw the flashes coming from Sirhan's gun, and then he drew his gun, a .38, his sidearm, and he fell to the floor. In another version, he sees the flashes coming from Sirhan's gun, and he falls to the floor, and he comes up with his gun drawn. In another version, he sees Kennedy fall to his left. In another version, he sees him fall to his right. In another one, he doesn't even see him fall at all. Plus, he had a gun, a .22 caliber revolver with the same class characteristics as Sirhan's Iver Johnson. It was a .22 Harrington and Richardson. It was a 9-shot. It was a 9-shot weapon. But what was disturbing about this is when he was questioned by the police, he said that he had sold the gun six weeks after the murder. When in fact, or 6 weeks before the murder, rather, when in fact he had sold it 6 weeks after the murder.